Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, imagine this. You're traveling, maybe meeting new people, or trying to wrap your head around a complex new idea. What's the one skill that just instantly opens doors, clears up confusion, helps you connect? It's not just speaking, right? It's about asking good questions confidently. So today we're diving deep into mastering English questions. We're not just talking grammar rules here, but how asking questions is like your essential key to unlocking real communication. Okay, let's really get into this. Asking questions is, well, it's fundamental. It's how we learn things, how we connect with people on a real level. And it keeps conversations moving. It really throws open the door to actual interactions, whether you're chatting with a native speaker, your teacher, or maybe a new friend. Now, we know a lot of learners find this tricky, especially those auxiliary verbs, the helping verbs people talk about, like do, does, or did. They can be confusing. But look, by the end of this deep dive, our mission really is for you to feel much, much more confident about asking questions in English.
Absolutely. And what's really key here, I think, is understanding that the structure isn't just about, ticking grammar boxes. It's actually about empowering you. So you move from just passively taking in information to actively participating in conversations. It's the ultimate tool for curiosity, wouldn't you say?
Totally agree. So to start exploring this, English questions, basically they fall into two main groups. First up, we have yes-no questions. These are pretty straightforward. The answer is simply yes or no. Think of them as quick checks, like for confirmation.
Mm-hmm. And then the second type, we've got WH questions. Now, while yes-no questions just confirm or deny something, WH questions, they invite more detail. They're designed to dig a bit deeper, get specifics. They usually kick off with words like who, what, where, when, why, and how. So the core difference really is their purpose. One confirms, the other reveals information.
Right. So let's break down those yes-no questions first. How do you actually make them? Well, the main way is usually by taking a helping verb, an auxiliary verb, and just shifting it right to the beginning of the sentence.
That's spot on. Yeah, there's a core formula you can kind of keep in your back pocket. It's the both is que dire was where plus subject plus the main verb plus maybe other stuff and the question mark, of course. It's actually surprisingly consistent once you get the hang of that pattern.
Let's see in action. Makes it clear. So if you have a statement like, you like coffee.
Yeah.
To make it a question, it just becomes, do you like coffee? Simple enough, right? Or take, she goes to school. That changes to, does she go to school? And notice there how goes changes back to go. That's the base form of the verb you mentioned.
Exactly. It's simplest form, like to go, but without the to.
Right. And for past tense, if the statement is, they watched a movie, the question becomes, did they watch a movie? Again, see how watched flips back to the base form, watch. And we also have questions just using the be verb, like, is he at home? Are you ready? Or was it fun?
Yeah. And this is where it gets really helpful, I think. It clears up a lot of confusion for learners. The rule is, after do, does, or did, you always use the base form of the main verb. No S, no ed, nothing extra. Think of it like do, does, or did are already doing the job. They show the tense, or if it's third person singular. So the main verb doesn't need to. It can just stay in its simplest form, like you said with that dedicated driver idea earlier, right?
Exactly. The helping verb does the driving.
Right. And for those be verbs, is, are, where you just move them to the front. Simple as that. No do or does needed there. They're strong enough verbs to make questions all by themselves.
That dedicated driver thing really clicks for that base form rule, doesn't it? It's a huge help. Okay, so once you're comfortable, checking things with a quick yes or no, the next step in any real conversation is usually digging deeper, getting specifics. And that brings us to those powerful WH questions, sir.
Exactly. These aren't looking for just a yes or no. They're designed to pull out specific pieces of information. What, where, when, why, how. The general structure here is usually WH word plus then a helping verb, like dodas, didis, eric, and etc. Plus then the subject, plus then the main verb, plus and so on. That flexibility with the helping verb lets you ask about all sorts of things: time, place, reasons, ability.
Right. So you end up with questions like, what do you eat for breakfast? Or maybe, where does she live? Past tense could be, when did you arrive? Like, if you're curious about why someone's doing something, why do they study English? Or trying to figure something out, how does this work? And using those be verb again, why are you sad? Or a common one, how can I help you?
Now, there's an important little twist here, a nuance to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Sometimes the WH word is the subject of the sentence itself. Like it's asking who or what did the action. For instance, who came to the party? In that question, who's the subject? It represents the person who came. So in cases like that, you don't use do, does, or did because who is already filling that subject slot.
Oh, okay. So you wouldn't say who did come.
Exactly. It sounds a bit redundant, doesn't it? Who came is direct. The main principle still holds, though. Normally, keep that helping verb before the subject. Unless, like we said, the WH word is stepping in as the subject doing the action.
Got it. That makes sense. It's like the WH word is wearing two hats in that case. Oh. Okay, so we know the structures, but let's be real. Learning involves making mistakes. It's part of the process. So let's talk about some common slip-ups, some pitfalls, and maybe how you can sidestep them.
Absolutely. And seeing common errors helps you spot them in your own speech, which is great. So, for example, you might hear someone say, do she likes pizza?
Yeah.
But the correct way is, ooh, does she like pizza? There are two things wrong in the first one.
Right. Do should be does because it's she.
Correct. Single subject she needs does, and then likes needs to be the base form. Like, because does already took care of the S.
Okay, makes sense. What's another common one?
How about this? Did he went there? People say that a lot. It should be, did he go there?
Ah, the base form rule again after did, went, should be go.
Exactly. Did signals past tense, so go, stay simple. Another one is sometimes dropping the auxiliary verb completely, like where you live. You need that helper. Where do you live?
Okay, yeah. Missing the do, easy mistake to make when you're starting out.
For sure. And related to that is getting the order wrong, the subject-verb inversion. You might hear where you are going. It sounds a bit off, right? The correct inversion is where are you going? The helping verb are needs to come before the subject you.
Right, flipping the are and you.
Precisely. And one more. What she does, this one's common too. Again, it's about the inversion and the base verb. Correct is, what does she do? Does comes before she, and we use the base verb do at the end. So really the key things to remember are use that base form after do, does, did, and make sure you flip the subject and the helping verb correctly.
Okay, that really clarifies the common sticky points. So how do we make this stick? How do we get these patterns into our heads so they feel, automatic?
Practice. It really boils down to practice. Repetition builds that muscle memory.
Right. So let's do that now. We're going to put it all together with a little practice session. I'll give you a statement, and I want you, the listener, to try and form the question in your head, or even say it out loud if you can, before I reveal the answer. Ready? Okay, first one. He plays guitar. Question. Does he play guitar? Got it. Okay, next one. They went to the beach. Think about the tense. Did they go to the beach? Notice went becomes go.
Yeah, that's a really common one to mess up initially, saying did they went. So tempting.
Right, you have to fight the urge. Okay, here's another. She likes chocolate. Does she like chocolate? Base form, like, how about this one? She eats lunch. Does she eat lunch? Again, eats becomes eat. And one more, using a be verb. They are happy. Are they happy? Just flip the are and they.
Fantastic. See, even just doing that quick practice starts to build the connections. Consistent practice like this, applying the rules, is absolutely the key. The more you actively form these questions, the more natural and reflexive it becomes.
Right, that feels like a good place to wrap up our deep dive into asking questions in English for today. The big takeaway here really is that getting comfortable with questions is what unlocks confident communication. It opens so many doors. So we really hope you'll try to actively use what you've learned. Maybe try asking just a few questions in English today. Even asking yourself questions counts. Remember, practice makes progress, not perfection. And we're genuinely proud of you for putting in the effort on your learning journey.
Maybe just a final thought to leave you with. If asking questions really is how we learn and connect, which I believe it is, just think, what new doors might open up for you? In your daily life, maybe at work, or in building new friendships or relationships. What can happen simply by getting more confident at asking the right questions? It's not just grammar, right? It's about changing how you engage the world.
That's a powerful thought to end on. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. Keep practicing, keep learning, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Enjoyed the video? Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe for more English learning videos. See you in the next lesson.